What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're going to be previewing Port Adelaide versus the Western Bulldogs this Friday night at Marvel Stadium. It's going to be a massive game. It's one of the games that is pinpointing what could define Port Adelaide's season in terms of going 10 wins in a row, while the Dogs will try and bounce back against Port with a loss to the Suns and the Cats in the last two. This is a crucial game, a game that will definitely set up both teams' season for the rest of the year. With the buys coming over quite frequently over the next few weeks, it's definitely going to define what these two teams can do in the back half of the year. So let's get straight into it and let's preview round 13. So Port Adelaide are 9 in a row. The Dogs have lost the last 2. They've lost 3 out of the last 4, to be honest. The only win coming against the Crows in Ballarat. Port Adelaide, well, this is that game, isn't it? This is the one. We've had a great record at Marvel Stadium. We've won the last 8 there. And we've had a streak. We've got streaks going left, right and centre at the moment. And I really do feel like this is the game for Port that will define what we do for the rest of the year. We play the Geelong the week after, and also then the bye, and then we go into the back end of the year, which is a pretty tough draw. So to be 9 in a row, it's flattering. It's very well done, and we're looking in fine form at the moment. But this is the type of game that you just go, yeah, well, the Dogs, they want to bounce back, and they've got a bit about them, and it's a nerve-wracking time. I do remember the game a few years back. We played them at Marvel. I think it was 2016. We got pumped by 50 points. And it was a game that was going to define the season for Port. And we ended up getting pumped and we weren't going to make finals. That ruled us out of finals for the rest of the year. We ended up winning the last 4 games and missed out by percentage. But this game is something to me that I feel like going 10 wins in a row has just never been achievable for Port Adelaide. We've broken the barrier of being 9 in a row. Is it a week that a reality check sort of comes? I'm not quite sure. It's tough to get a gauge on it because it's the type of game that you would go, I reckon Port are going to win this. It's a good challenge. If we win this game, the lid well and truly might fly off my head because it's the Dogs away from home. We've obviously it feels like we just played the Dogs a few weeks ago, which in fact we did. For gather round, it was only 8 rounds ago. So nothing much has changed since then. Both teams have definitely trotted along nicely. Port Adelaide better than the Dogs, clearly. But it's just something that, for me, it becomes a game of, if we drop it, is that going to be like a downfall period for us now? Like that's my mentality right now. It's if we go 10 in a row, I think we just become unbeatable. But then we play the Dogs and then the Cats, and it's like, these are the 2 games. This sets us up going into the bye that's going to become crucial. And I know I'm rambling on a bit, but I just wanted to make that clear that this is a game. This is an important game for us in terms of probably putting a fork in the cake and saying we're having a piece of this and we're very much right up into our eyeballs. Selection-wise, I think it's going to be quite interesting because Charlie Dixon, I don't think is 100%, and it's a little bit concerning for me. Why 2 weeks ago he was on the verge of pretty much going to be playing. Last minute against the D's, didn't play when it came to selection. And then last week it was almost like Ken said, yeah, no, he's probably 50-50. And it's just a little bit concerning for me that maybe Dixon doesn't come in. Boak definitely will come back into the side for this one. He's definitely ready to go, and I do feel like that he's an important figure, especially playing at Marvel. We saw what happened against St Kilda. Trav does play Marvel really well. When you just have to go back to 2021 in the last round of the year when it secured a top 2 spot, where he played probably one of the best games I've seen him play. Kicked 2 goals, had about 30 touches, and was just absolutely sensational. So him coming back in is going to be crucial. Who goes out, I'm not quite sure. That's the tough question. A lot of contributors last week. I have loved the work of Lockie Jones. I think Josh Sin came on really well when Lysette was subbed off and played a really, really crucial part. I think if Dixon was to come back in, Ollie Lord clearly would go out, but he's been very, very impressive, I think, and had a quiet one last week, but still is playing a predominant role. In terms of Boak, you probably look at someone in that bottom half where it's like, oh, maybe Sin goes out, someone else will start as a sub. Yeah, crazy. Maybe Boak comes in and plays as a sub again. Would be strange. But yeah, that's the decisions that's got to be made. A crucial decision was made with Tom Jonas. He's not going to come back in this week. And then you've got to make that same case for someone else. And unfortunately, and I hate to say it, but maybe it's the same thing with Boak. He comes back in, plays as the sub, and he's got to work his way back in and see if there's an injury or see if there's something else that could be slotted back in for him. Because at the moment, the team's so sound. Selection is very, very difficult. And you've just got to make the right choices and the best choices and be consistent with them. It's really a game of key forwards, this one. Jamara Ugle-Hagan and Aaron Norton. We obviously saw how well our defensive unit did in round 5 for Gather Round, where Lear was just absolutely sensational. So he's going to play a crucial part. Mackenzie's been pretty solid down back, and I think Ryan Burton sliding back down there, and Houston off cross half back. It's a really sound system we've got down there. Dylan Williams is playing superbly. So I think we've got to really make sure that we don't allow their smalls to really get around the footy and really dominate and pressurise. We were really good with pressure. We have been really good with pressure up forward for the whole season. And I think really into this winning streak that we've had, we've found that groove and found that connection, found that pressure. And it's just been one of our staples when it comes to winning these games. So as long as our forward line fires, I think we've seen last week there was 14 goals between Rioli, Marshall, and Finlayson. Like you're going to get, if you get that every single week across 4 or 5 individual goal kickers, if you get 14 goals from 5 people, you're winning a game of football. And I think that's going to be the same this week. I don't think the Dogs have the star power in terms of goal kicking to challenge us if we get a run on. I think this is going to be one of those tight contests again, because I have said there's a run sheet at the moment of how it's gone. Like if you go back to round 4 against the Swans, close. Dogs, round 5, close. West Coast, round 6, smashing. Round 7 and round 8, we're close. Round 9, smashing. Round 10, close. Round 11, close. Round 12, smashing. Like it's just baffling at the moment. And I think this is going to be one of those close games again. It's just, it's strange, isn't it? It's really, really strange how this season's panning out. But I'm looking forward to it. Friday Night Footy as well. We get to showcase what we're made of in front of the whole country. And I think a lot of people are looking forward to this one. So I'm going to tip Port Adelaide by about 8 points. I think it's going to be that close game encounter again. And it's going to be someone that's going to stand up late, that's going to really, really be crucial to us winning this game, whether it's Rosie, whether it's Butters, Horn Francis. That midfield's electrifying. Willem Drew's been sensational, I think, in terms of his pressure and his tackling. Houston's a really underrated player. I think these types of players are going to be really, really crucial to making sure that the Dogs don't get a run on either. We know they have the capabilities to do that. So I'm just hoping when it comes to Friday night, we get 10 in a row, 9 in a row at Marvel. Dylan Williams gets 11 in a row because he hasn't lost a game yet since playing for the club in the AFL system. So the streaks continue, and we look forward to seeing what can be produced Friday night. Thank you very much for watching, Port fans. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. Check out The Glass Table. Episode 14 is out now with Jared Thomas and I are talking all things AFL. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you subscribe, as I said. Thank you very much for all your support. My name's Anthony, and as always, come to pair.